So I want to show you how I scraped this site. And if you followed me for a while, you'll probably know what I'm going to do next. I'm of course going to open up the DevTools and have a look at the network request. But there's one extra step within this, which I think you might find interesting, or at least I did, that I want to show you, because if you don't know, you could spend ages. But if you do know, the whole thing can be done in about 5 minutes. So this is a pretty standard, kind of JavaScript loaded site. It looks exactly like you would expect it to. So we're going to hit inspect. We're going to go network, and I'm just going to start scrolling down and then hit next. Now within this, I'm going to go XHR and have a quick look through the URLs. And if this would expand just a little bit, we'll see that one of these ones down here is API/v4 vehicle search used, which looks like exactly what we are after. If I open this up, I can look at the preview of the response and I can actually see we have total pages, total results, and vehicle information. This is what we want. So we want to find a way that we can actually access this and go through it. So the next thing that I did was I looked through the cookies that I had here, and we can see none of these to me screamed anything like anti-man or anti-bot protection. So there was no like Cloudflare or anything like that. So now I was just going to proceed as normal and then deal with any that came up, which it didn't. But what we have, if we look at the network headers, is A, this is a post request, so we just need to bear that in mind. And also B, there is this authorization header with a bearer token. There's also all these cookies, which I just showed you, but they don't really mean anything when there is an authorization header. So we need to work out how we generate that. So first thing I did was look through all the other requests and responses to try and see, what was going on, and if it meant like I could request something else first to get it. After that wasn't so fruitful, the next thing that I did was just look in the source. And what we have here is, this is all the JSON data that you find within an application like this. So if I search for, quite often it's a NUXT app, or in this case it's NUXT, we have all of this information. And if you do something like NUXT data, there it is, you can see it in the middle of the screen. This is where we're going to find all of the JSON information, which I believe is used to hydrate the page. Now, when I saw this initially, I thought, okay, cool, maybe this will have all the car information. But to me, that didn't make sense because I'd already found that API request. So what I did is I started to poke around in this JSON data. I actually took it all out and put it into a JSON parser. And I can show you that now if I can just copy it out. There's quite a lot of it. We'll have a look at it together. We grab this and then go to something like this one we'll do, and paste this in here. When we look through this, we can see, this is kind of standard type information. And I keep going, and there's all sorts of different stuff in here. But most importantly, what I looked for and what I found was something called this, which was not what I was looking, refresh token. Now this was interesting to me, and you can actually see this on the page as well. So if there's a lot of information, my browser is not happy with it. Refresh token here. Now this is interesting. So this is just loaded into the page whenever I loaded this page up. So, I tried it with different IPs and different browsers, and, I just got a consistent looking token. So what I wanted to do was pass this data here and get that token, and then see if that would work to generate that and use it in the post request to the API. Now it did, but when I show you this here, there's no real easy, obvious way to pass this information out. And at this time I was working under the assumption that this was going to be very unique and different every time. However, we can see by looking at this that this is actually base64 encoded. So what I did is I took it up to the point at a dot here, and I thought, it's interesting that this looks very similar. Every time I was generating the page, I had something that looked to my eyes very similar to this. And in fact, it was. So this is standard, and it shows, that this is a JWT JSON web token with this RS-256 encryption. If I just say, this is encryption, we can see, yeah, it's an RSA signature with a SHA-256 thing. It's commonly used in JWTs. So this says to me that this is going to be consistent every time, which means I have a string that I can search for within this JSON to pass everything out. So from here, it was a pretty simple case of let's try and see what works. So I put it into Bruno, and this is an old request, which is why this is not working. And I removed, I checked out the body, the JSON body that's getting posted along with it. And we can see, here's the results per page and the page index, very useful. And I checked out the headers and I looked at what it looked like. Turns out we didn't need any of these, including the cookie. We only needed the user agent and the authorization bearer. So I took this out and I went into my code editor and pasted the code in and ran it, worked, but then we needed to be able to build it so we had this information out. So all I did was pass the script tag, load it into JSON, go through every one until I found this, which was that base64 decoded string, which I showed you over here. That's this. And then I found that and turned it into the bearer token, turned it into a string, made sure it was a string, added it to my session headers, and then made the post request. And this actually worked fine. So if I do run workings, we'll see there's the token and there's all the information. So from here, it was just a case of repeating it to make sure that it worked over and over again, changing a few things like, IPs and things like that consistently worked, no problem. So all I did now was, just tidy it all up and I ended up with this. I'm not using anything fancy here. I'm not even using any proxies for this, although I would do if I was running this more often. That's at something like 6,300 results, 100 per page. I think you could probably do more than that. We were getting, 60 something pages, which is not a lot every day to get new data. Realistically, that's a good cadence. So I got my two URLs. I'm creating a session here, just so I can make sure that my headers are added and make sure they're good. And this is the generate token. And this is, loading up the page with our requests, passing the data, grabbing the token out and returning that bearer token string. And then we can use that within our API request, which has all of the payload in it. And we also have the page, page number and the token, which needs to go in here. Page is down here. And then we just make that post request. I'm passing it by printing some of it out and then just saving the rest, saving it all to JSON file, and then just running everything. So if I clear this up and we do UV run, this is going to do everything that our last code did. We're going to get a new bearer token, we're going to attach it to our session, and we're going to be able to make those API requests with that there, and just loop through all the pages whenever you want to get all of the information. So that's it for this one. It's kind of like interesting thing. You need to find that out, just look for it. And now that I know that it's going to be there, doing this takes 5 minutes.